Thank you all for coming out. It's a sunny day. I know that I would like to be at home working in the garden right now, and you guys probably would like to be outside too, but I'm glad to see the interest in your local government politics. My name is Korn. I'm running for Blanchard County Commissioner, District 3. I've been here for 26 years, been married for 33 years. My beautiful wife back there is rolling her eyes. Moved here without kids. Since then, we started our family here. We have 3 kids, and they have all grown up, gone through the education system, barely in time, in my opinion, but all 3 of those kids are still living here, working here, and they want to stay here. And we have some serious issues that we're facing as a community as far as having our kids and our grandkids living here. I come with about 30 plus years of business background in the construction trades and retail sales. Been retired for a couple of years now. Many years invested in this community. I think that is so important. There's nothing better to give than one's time. For some people that are millionaires and billionaires, it's real easy to write a check. Ask George Soros. I think that name was mentioned earlier from Southerners. He can write a check for $1 billion and it doesn't even blink. But how much of his time does he actually give or donate? I've given 25 years of community service, most of those with the Blanchard County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Group, started back in 1999 as far as my time goes. Around 2001, I became president and the commander of that group. That was 150 volunteers. The largest search and rescue group in the state of Idaho, very well recognized with the state and national groups. I'm very proud to have served with that group. And that's where I kind of learned a lot of my leadership skills. I believe that leadership is something that most people are born with. It's not something that you can learn or read a book about. Obviously, you can fine-tune those skills, but it's something that just comes from deep within inside. And my passion and my love for my community is where it all comes from. I've been also involved with other volunteer groups, Northside Fire for a little while, volleyball sports programs. I actually started a volleyball club here for teenage girls, which my daughter was a part of. And most importantly, I think, is I created my own community watch program on steroids. I wanted something more towards the preparedness side of things and not necessarily just reporting a suspicious vehicle that's driving down the road. I live on about a 12-mile stretch of road that has 2 ways in and 2 ways out. So I'm very fortunate there to try and be able to control that if and when it ever hits the fan. So I went around and I started talking to neighbors. I actually organized a meeting, and we had our first meeting about 4 years ago now. Started off with about 60 people, and we're up over 100 people right now just in our own community watch program. Very proud of that. It came in very handy a couple years ago when we had the Trussell Creek fires. And you guys know as well as I do now that fires are nothing to be joking around about. It was so smoky at times that we couldn't see 100 feet in front of us. And we're getting the mixed reports coming out, and they're telling us that we need to evacuate and everything else. I was fortunate enough to be getting information from the fire crew and being able to disseminate that information through our text group that we have. And I was reaching over 100 people at one time, reassuring them that we're still okay, that we don't need to evacuate yet. People were panicking, as you well can understand. People want to leave their livestock or take their livestock out, cleaning out their homes. And there wasn't really a necessity for that yet. But I brought calmness to the community. That's something that I think that I have, it's one of my attributes, if you will, is that I have an ability to unite people. Something else that I'm very proud of was back in 2020 when the fake China virus came, Sandpoint canceled its Independence Day. That was something that I wasn't going to stand for as an American citizen. I went down the very next day to the city, filled out the paperwork, got the permit, and at the very least what I was going to do was I was going to try and save our local parade. So I got involved with the community. I used Facebook. Facebook can be a useful tool at times if you don't get deplatformed. Rounded up the community, and we were able to save the the parade, and then people started talking about the fireworks show. And it's like, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to raise $16,000 for a fireworks show, but we'll put it out there, so we did. And with the help of a few close friends, we drew up some great looking flyers, got the message out there, and we had one family step up, and they wrote a check for $17,000. One family in our community saved our fireworks show. And to me, that's just amazing. That's what we're about, in my opinion. That's what Blanchard County is about. One of the questions on a recent questionnaire was, what is the most important thing you think, in your opinion, about your community? The environment, the mountains, the outdoor activities. And to me, it's the people. The people here are amazing. It's a lot like where I came from, a small town in Southern California, where I grew up, driving down the road, waving at everybody. That's where I come from. That's where I choose to live. And I understand a lot of issues that we're facing right now with the growth. It's very upsetting because we're getting people coming here from the cities that don't share our same values. I don't know how to fix that. I don't think we can fix that. What I would like to see, obviously, as well as most of you, I'm sure, is people that move here assimilate into our lifestyle and not want to change things. One of the issues that I see, one of many, when I moved here, there were no building permits. And coming from the construction trades, that was really amazing. And that's one thing that drew me to this area. I'm a freedom-loving patriot. I'm a Christian conservative. This is what drew me here. Driving across that darn long bridge, for one, which everyone pretty much kind of agrees with. But when the realtor said, yeah, well, there's no building permits, there's no building department here, you can do whatever you want on your property. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, because I've never seen that before. And I appreciate that. And that's something that I would like to bring back to our community, is the fact that I don't want to have to ask permission from my local government when I want to do something on my own property. I think it's wrong. And along with that permission usually comes a fee. So now there's over 2 pages of permits. If you want to build a fence on your property, if you want to build a deck, if you want to build a house, a garage, a shed. In fact, even over a 400 square foot, which sounds like a lot, but 400 square feet is 20 by 20. Greenhouse. Okay? Don't take away my ability to take care of my family. Don't take away my ability to grow my own food. Don't ask me to ask you for permission. Whose land is this? That's something that I stand very firm on. I stand on my own beliefs. I will use the Bible, the biblical principles. I will use constitutional principles. And I will use the input from the people when I'm making decisions about governing. A lot of people have different misconceptions about governing. To me, it's not governing as much as it is representing you, the people. Because after all, who is the government? It's we, the people. If you elect, whoever you elect to represent you, that's exactly what you're doing. You're electing representatives. You're not electing kings. You're not electing someone to tell you what to do. You're electing someone to represent your voice. I don't know if I have anything else as far as my background. I mean, I could go on and on. I know a lot of you already heard the speech, and it's like, oh my gosh, how many times do I have to hear about you saving Independence Day? So,
with that, then we will go ahead and go to Dmitry Borisov, and then we'll get to our question section.